Welcome to the ZMY Align class. We're going to start in child's pose today. So go ahead and on your knees, big toes together, knees apart, sit back on your heels. And you can even bring your block with you for this if you want to rest your head on something. Extend the arms. And just begin to feel all areas of the torso open up. As you breathe in, don't just feel the front of the body open, feel the side ribs, the back ribs, everything expanding. And as you push your hands forward, notice how the sitting bones can kind of sink back onto the heels a little bit. And so you have no choice here. You can't see anything. Start to look inside. Beginning with the breath and then kind of doing a head to toe body scan to see where you're feeling any stretching. I mean, not everybody can start in child's pose. I know that what you guys are all capable of, but your body's not really warmed up yet. So you might feel a stretch in the feet, the knees, the hips, the lower back. Just make a mental note of those things. And this right here is where you surrender your day, your week, your month, whatever it is. Anything that happened before you arrived on this mat today is on the other side of that door. And it'll be there if you want it when you leave, but for this next hour, this is a sacred place for you and to focus only on you. Start to activate your thoracic breathing, which is just kind of a little bit more in depth of expanding the rib cage. So the thoracic part of the spine, where the ribs are attached, the middle of the back, before the neck. It's an even expansion. Belly, rib cage, and exhale. We're going to use this breathing through our postures today. And take 3 more. Let the inhale come on its own. And then go ahead and lift the head. Walk the hands towards the body just a little bit so we can extend the side body. So lateral stretch here, walking the hands to the right and softening down towards the floor. And then lift, walk your hands slowly to the left. If the wall is in the way, just bend your arms or something, or just do what you can. And go ahead and come back to center. Bring yourself to hands and knees and start your Betalasana. So feet are hip width apart, knees are underneath the hips. And begin on an inhale, drop the belly, lift the tail, lift the gaze. And then exhale, arch. And this is just a good, I mean, you can keep your eyes closed here, but first just take a look at your hands. I mean, this is an alignment class, so be sure your shoulder width apart, hand is a little bit in front of the shoulders, fingers spread, wrist creases straight. And Sarah and Melina, you guys can actually open your hands for a little bit further apart. Oops, other Sarah, sorry. That Sarah. I mean, you can always go a little further anyways. It's not going to be, it's always better. I forgot I have to do the initial. Do 3 more rounds here. Spend as much time as you want in each position. You don't have to move with the breath. You can move with the breath, but this is organic to your body. So if you need a little bit of extra shoulder movement or neck rolls, go ahead and do that. And then we'll meet at a neutral spine. And you're going to curl the toes under and sit back. Toe torture pose. There's got to be a better name, but happy toe pose. You literally winced in your face like, ah. Stay down here if you need to. And if you're up here with the toes curled under, actually feel from your big toes down to your pinkies, like just roll the toes and smash them and try to put as much weight as you can on the toes. Is this getting better for you guys? It's still getting better for you. And you're okay here. Alexis, you're okay here. Eh, it's not fun. It's not a fun pose. Yeah. It depends on what you're doing, like how much you're doing with your feet too, I guess. Or what kind of shoes you've worn, the last few days. Yeah. Slippers with no arch support. All right, go ahead. Hands down. Just tap the top of the feet. Doesn't it feel good to tap the top of the feet? I mean, just getting rid of that like stagnant energy too. All right, so now you're gonna extend the legs out. You're gonna chaturanga all the way down nice and slow. So plank, chaturanga down. Stay here. Uncurl the toes, grab your right ankle or your right foot with your right hand. Use your left arm as a pillow. Draw the heel towards the body. And if your heel is touching your butt, start to slide it off the side down towards the mat. Still keep your knee pointing straight back as much as you can. And just start to bring that heel as close to the floor as you can, really. I mean, that's the next step of feeling a stretch. Melina, are you feeling a stretch here? Okay. The more you press your hips into the mat, the more you'll feel it. And Sarah L, are you feeling a stretch? Okay. Take another breath or two here. Go ahead and release, switch sides. So eventually your hand position changes in this because this is an actual, where are you feeling that? Calf? Okay, hamstrings. I'm like, I don't know. those things in the back of the leg that are pain. So your hand position changes in this eventually. You'll like Sarah L, you could probably start to move your fingertips towards the shoulder blades. I know that sounds crazy, but yeah, I know. Exactly. So your hands, instead of pulling back like this, you bring the foot down, and on the top of the foot, you'll slide your fingertips forward. Other direction. Bring your elbow in and then fingertips forward. Yeah, it's gonna go that way. So just, yeah. Are you doing that, Alexis? Like, are you able to do it? Okay, so look back at Alexis's hand real quick. Yeah, so elbow up, fingers pointing towards. Yeah. Go ahead and release. So that's an actual yoga pose to bring both of your feet to the ground. Yeah, but you go pretty deeply in that pose already. Yeah. Actually, you all are getting like I'm pretty sure all of you, Susan, even you had your foot was pretty close to the butt. Okay, back to hands and knees, cross your ankles over and have a seat. We're gonna stack the logs here. So actually I'm the only one that's been sitting cross-legged, you guys. I'm like, if you want to take a break with your legs, but you've already been stretching them, I've just been watching you do all the work. Take your right knee and bend. So your shin is parallel with the front of your mat. And then take your left ankle on top of your right knee, left knee on top of right ankle. So this is fire log pose. And if this is too far away, put your brick in front of your right knee and just put your foot on top of that. You decide if your knee feels stable there or not. Like you're pretty good. Your bottom leg can move closer towards me. Yeah, is it making it feel more special that way? Okay, how's yours, Susan? Doable, okay. Yeah, I see your block, you're good. Okay. If this is good here, just sit here and breathe. If you feel like your fingertips can come to the front, to the floor, just slowly start walking the hands forward. Stop every couple of steps or inches and breathe. Lena's like, I'm good. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And you can go all the way to the floor if that is accessible to you. Okay, so whether you're folded forward, your guys' looks on your face, like my favorite part about teaching is looking at people's faces when I'm asking them to do things that are like this. Like, keep talking, Jennifer. We're gonna do that thoracic breathing, or you could think of it as rib cage breathing. This is a big part in our alignment yoga. So as you inhale, whether you're up or down, you're gonna breathe in, expand the rib cage. For length, keep the length, and then exhale. So I'm gonna keep doing that until I get as tall as I can, and then I'm just gonna breathe into the rib cage. Not just the lungs in the front, but the lungs in the back and the side ribs also. If we've been here we have been here for a few minutes, but see if you can soften that top knee a little bit more. Maybe it feels a little different already. It just feels like, okay. As long as it doesn't feel like danger, we're good. We're taking one more breath here. So one more thoracic breath. And then exhale. And then start to walk the hands towards the body if you're folded, and lift. Straighten the legs, bounce the knees a little bit. You can even move the kneecaps around. Massaging the kneecaps is highly recommended. Just push them back and forth. Seems like something that would be dangerous, but it's not. Not. Okay. Did you? Well, because it's a little bit creepy. Yeah. Okay. So other side. Bend the left leg, which will be on the bottom. The shin is parallel to the front of your mat. Right knee to left ankle. Like setting this up, coming into the poses are pretty important, right? The way we exit and enter. How does this side feel? Great. Great. Take a breath or two. And then start to walk the fingertips forward. Oh yeah, you can see I painted my faucets black. You can see that on my fingers still. Remember that you're leading with the chest. So as you're folding over, draw the shoulder blades towards each other. And then the trapezius, the top of the shoulders and neck, soften away from the ears. And also applaud yourself for being able to get your legs in this position. I mean, you're all here. That's pretty good. thoracic breath. Feels like we're all, I mean, it's harder for the men to feel this, but for the women, like all parts of the body, the torso is touching your sports bra at the same time. Everything is expanding out and touching it at the same time. One more breath here. Go ahead and start to lift. Be careful when you're removing the legs. Extend them out in front of you. Move the kneecaps around or shake the knees out. Okay. And now you can sit crisscross Sukhasana or Siddhasana. Just do Sukhasana, easy pose. Can you see me okay? Okay. All right, inhale the arms up. Palms together, exhale, hands in front of the heart. Inhale up again. Exhale. Even this opening the lungs and reaching up is going to be good for the arms. So palms together. Start to unpeel the hands, fingertips down. So stretch the arms out and stretch the wrists. Feels good, right? Feels so good. One more breath. Palms together, hands in front of the heart. Good. Left hand is going to rest on the floor and we're going to do big arm circles here. So just start moving backward with the circles. Get full range of motion to warm up the shoulder joint. And then go in the other direction. And then we'll switch our legs and do the other side. Lean to the right, big circles with the arm. Do 3 or 4 in one direction and then go in the other direction. Good. All right, back to hands and knees. Let's go ahead and get this party started. So hands in front of the shoulders, at least 2 palm lengths, curl the toes under, lift the hips up and back, and start to pedal the feet out. Make sure your hands are shoulder width apart. At least if your shoulders are tight, they're going to be a little bit wider. Similarly, you can open your hands further away. It's harder to gauge things when you're super flexible, I know, but don't worry. I'll be here to tell you. Lengthen through the tailbone, soften your heels towards the mat or lift up on your toes, however you want to move right now. Take a couple of breaths. Inhale, look up, start to step forward. Exhale, fold. So still bend your knees as much as you need to. We've opened the hips, but not too much with the hamstrings. And just hang forward here. We're not holding elbows or anything, just hang. Feel all 4 corners of the feet pressing into the mat so your legs are still nice and stable for you. Shoulder blades are pressing towards each other. And drop the head completely. We're going to inhale and lift the head. And just have an extension through the crown of the head for a moment. And at this point, if you need to have your hands on your shins, you can. We're going to bring the hands up towards the thighs. So you're still lifting the sitting bones, just like we do for any forward fold. This is still like a forward fold, shoulders back. Good. Inhale, come all the way up. And exhale. All right. Tadasana or mountain pose. Just give me your best mountain pose. We're going to practice our thoracic breath here. Inner edges of the feet parallel, press the ball mounds, lift the arches, lift the kneecaps, engage the quadriceps. We're not too far tilted forward or back. or just right in the middle. And then shift your weight forward and back and be sure that your balance, your center of gravity is like you're floating. So if you have a tendency to lean your weights in the outsides of the feet, like pronate the feet, bring it to a more balanced position. And see how dangly you can get the arms. Let the shoulder blades do the work. Good. Okay, so you can do this with your eyes open or closed. We're going to start to inhale. Lift the rib cage evenly away from the pelvis. Get as tall as you can. Keep that length and then exhale. And then again, nice and slow. Keep the shoulders soft. Shoulder blades are supporting you. Just get as tall as you can till you can't get any taller, and then just start to breathe. You'll notice the abdominals engaged. They need to engage to help you with this. That's a good thing. Keep the length for 3 more breaths. And then go ahead and release when you're ready. How does that feel? Did you know breathing took so much muscles? Isn't it crazy? Let's do a couple of Surya Namaskar A just to get the body moving, and then we'll move on to the next thing. So come to the front of your mat. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold, move with the breath. Inhale, look up. And exhale, chaturanga. Full exhale, then inhale up. And exhale back for 5 breaths. You do what you want with your body here. If you need stillness, have stillness. If you need to move, move, but listen and breathe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, look up, step forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up. We're going right back down. Exhale, fold. All the way down. Inhale, look up. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale up. Exhale, take it back. 5 breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, look up, step forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, palms together, hands in front of the heart. Okay, grab your blocks. Urdhva Hastasana, upward facing hands. Urdhva Dhanurasana, upward facing bow, right? When we're doing back bends, Urdhva is upward. Or it's not upward facing bow, it's upward bow. Facing is Mukha, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward face dog. Some of the words start to click, right? So you don't have to remember it, it's just side stuff. Okay, so upward facing arms. Put your palms on your block. We've done this before, but we're taking it to a whole new level today. You still want Tadasana legs, so find Tadasana legs. Can you see me okay, Susan? Yes, sideways. Yep, so your hands are on the skinny parts. Yes. Yep. Okay, so before we even begin, ground the shoulders. You guys all have been there before. Keep the arms straight, and if the arms start to bend, reevaluate your shoulder grounding, straighten the arms, and then stop when it's time to stop. You know, let's be honest with our bodies. Satya is one of the limbs of yoga, and that's truthfulness. And that comes into our practice. Okay, so shoulders back. Just begin to breathe and lift slowly. As the shoulders stay grounded, that it's the top of the shoulders that are going to press down as the hands go up. It's almost like you can feel the humeri dropping back into the sockets. Wow, I was going to say you're going up pretty good. That means you're mobile. Okay, if you're up here, which you guys are all up here, straighten your arms a little bit more and then soften back if you can. That's really good, you guys. Holy moly. All right. Start to bend the elbows. Press the hands into the block if you need help. The elbows should stay pointing forward. If they start to open, bring them forward. And just go as far as you can here. Squeeze your elbows straight forward by the ears. Are you breathing? Are you holding your breath? Okay, we're staying here for a couple of breathers, all right? Thoracic breath. Get as tall as you can. And then start to slowly bring the arms up and release. That was tough for me. I've done this stuff a million times. Wow. All right, are we ready to do this with Warrior One? And let me show you what we're gonna do after. It's a surprise. Let's start with Warrior One. Okay, so you have we're gonna use this actually for all arm stuff because it's a little bit, when we're dealing with alignment, there are some classes that we go to where we're just constantly moving, right? So how do you keep alignment when you're moving? How do you keep your shoulders grounded when you're constantly moving in a flow class or something like that? It's funny you asked that question because we're gonna try it while we're moving, but we're still gonna do it a couple of times in still poses. Okay, so right leg back. So Warrior One, you guys have done this before. Hips forward, bend the knee, press the outer edge of the back foot. Watch the lower curve, release the tailbone. Bring in the arms. So your bandhas are engaged. This is, I wanted to read you a little bit about the bandhas, but we'll focus on that another time. Just lift the pelvic floor, zip it up, thoracic breath here. So get as tall as you can, get the ribs as far away from the pelvis as you can in this Warrior One, keeping the front knee bent, keeping the feet grounded, and still lift. The back leg is straight and strong. Good, take one more breath here. So Warrior Three, ready? Start to tip forward, keep your arms right up here. And lift the back leg. Maybe. You can keep your toe on the floor if you want. Hips are level. Just take a breath or two. Try thoracic breath here. And then drop back slowly into Warrior One when you're done. And then bring the arms down, come back to Tadasana. All right, same thing on the other side. Now that you guys know what you're doing, I get to watch. Right leg back. Yeah. Oh, sorry, other side. You guys know what you're doing. Don't look at me. I don't know what we're doing. I'm just kidding. Okay, so remember, if your back leg is bent or your hips are not pointing straight forward, then that means that your feet need to be further apart. Make room for your hips. Don't leave your hips out of the equation. Okay, bend the front knee, get your legs first, press the outer edge of the back foot, release the tailbone. Don't tuck it, just release it. You'll feel this engage, start to bring the arms into it. So when we're doing Ashtanga, we keep our hands together because that's our drishti, our focus. When we're talking about alignment and working the arms to get to like headstand and stuff like that, we keep the arms apart because we're trying to prep our bodies for headstand. Or stronger shoulders. Take a few thoracic breaths here. Bandhas. Keep pressing the feet down as the rib cage lifts away from the pelvis. Feel all the parts of the body moving here. You guys are dealing with lots of different things happening. Release the tongue away from the roof of the mouth. Come into warrior 3. So start to tip forward. Nice and slow. Give your body the time it needs. See what happens differently to your arms. Just take a breath or two and then slowly come back to warrior 1. Yep, always keep a micro bend in that standing knee. And then arms down, come back to Tadasana. Yikes. Okay, put the block down for a moment before we move. Oh, that's me stretching my arm. I did it one time and I'm being a baby. Okay, ready? Pretend you're holding the block. The good thing though about not holding the block is that you can ground your shoulders by rotating the pinkies towards each other. Arms are super straight. Bring your fingers together and activate through the fingertips. While your shoulders are coming down, fingers are reaching up. Good. Bring your awareness to your feet, your legs, everything else. Good. Go ahead and bring the arms down. You're ready. You guys all passed. All right, here's what we're gonna do. We're taking this like we did. Oh, let me face you. Try to figure this out from the back of my body. All right, so we're bringing the arms up, down, we're moving with the arms, okay? Okay, so see what it takes to keep the arms grounded as you move. We're gonna do it 3 times. Prepare yourself. All right, go ahead and start in a standing position. Yeah. So remember the bandhas here, remember the length, and remember your shoulders are doing work for you, but your legs are still existing, right? Okay, here we go. And just try to breathe through it. I'm not gonna give you a certain breath for this, flow. So go ahead, bring the arms up. Bring them back. And start to come forward and down. Like chair, chair, boat, boat. Cross the legs, keep the arms grounded. Back to Urdhva Hastasana and Tadasana. Okay, we'll do it one more time with the block and then one more time without the block. Go for it. Bring the arms up. There's like 50 million things to think about right now, right? You got it. You don't have to move fast to do something with your body. Chair, 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 nice and slow. Yep, you made it. Boat, boat, boat. And then cross the legs, bring it up. Keep the shoulders grounded. Keep breathing. And then back to Tadasana. All right, so try it without the block. To me, it looks like you did just fine. Yep, so one more time without the block. So bring the arms up. Good. Yeah. And then chair. Yes. And then boat, boat, boat. Okay. Shoulders good. Do you feel what's different in your shoulders when you do boat now? Cross the leg. Maybe not. Yeah, like up here. Good. And then Tadasana. All right, grab your straps. If you don't have one, I have one for you. Yeah, no. Doesn't that feel great on the shoulders? You don't need to lift weights. You have blocks, you have foam blocks. All right, take your strap. You might not need the strap, but we're doing it with the strap. So this same thing here, like your shoulder is grounded. We're just doing one at a time. Left thumb down. Be very deliberate in doing this. And so if you are deliberate, you might be able to get the fingers. If not, that's fine. Just grab the strap, stretch the arms. Okay, thoracic breath. I got you. Did you just say Blarney? Oh, bend this. Okay. There you go. Yep. And we're still in Tadasana legs, so watch your legs. One more breath. And release. Other side. If you know you don't need the strap, then don't even use it at this point. So left arm up. Make sure that bicep is to ear, because this is side angle pose, right? This is all kinds of stuff. Bend at the elbow, thumb down, reach up. Got it? Good. Is anyone really close with their fingers and need help? Were you? Oh my gosh. I'm trying to pick up the mask. Thoracic breath here. So remember, like if your shoulders are tight, your butt's going to want to come out like this. So hey, I just know. All right. So drop or release the tailbone. Engage the bandhas and use your thoracic breath to lift you. There's a lot of visceral stuff happening with the breath. You know, sometimes you might not even be able to pinpoint, or you might not move very much, but it's there. Take one more breath. Numbing. Good choice. Go ahead and release. All right. Because the back of the body is closed off. Yeah. Okay, separate your feet. You guys can face the windows. Inhale, extend the arms. Toes point forward. Exhale, interlace the fingers behind the back. Let's see how open your shoulders are now. Inhale, lift the chest. Same muscles that we were just using, shoulder blades. Exhale, fold. Was that your hip? Yep. All right. Hey, that means that it's learning something. So it's weakness in the hip is what it is. It's weakness in the hip. So let's see, Sarah C and Alexa, shift your weight forward a little bit towards the balls of your feet. Haha. Drop your head all the way if you can. Let your arms go to the edge, your shoulders. Take another breath. Inhale, come all the way up. Good. Go ahead and bring the feet together. All right. Come to the front of your mat. So for balancing, we already did our warrior 3, but I would like to do hand to knee or hand to toe or hand to wall. So here's the reason why. And all of us, probably help if you could see me. We've all done this pose, right? It's really hard to find alignment in this pose, number one, because we're trying to balance, but also because we're going like this and we're really reaching forward. So let's try to do it, even if the knee is bent, with everything engaged and shoulders grounded, like we were just working with that. Like if we had the block, right? Okay. And you could do it with the knee too. It doesn't have to be, because we're not really focusing on the balancing part of this. We're focusing on the alignment part. So if you need to use the wall, don't be afraid to use the wall. Go ahead and take your right knee or your right toe. Left hand on the waist. And see what happens when you try to, you know, apply everything we were just doing with the block. Yeah. Especially if like the hamstrings are tight, you know? It's not going to be 100% like Tadasana spine, but you're going in that direction. Take a couple thoracic breaths. And now bring it out to the side, so to the right. And so it's inevitable. Like your body is going to bend like this, but we want to try to work to lengthen. Sinking the hip back is part of that too. Good. Shoulder blades are working, right? You're like, me, I'm following this all the way through. Back to center, go ahead and release. All right, other side. Grab the left toe or the left knee. Just play with it, go through it yourself. Take a few breaths and then move it out to the side to take a few breaths. Take your time, move slowly. Keep a micro bend in the standing knee. You guys look amazing. Come back to center when you're ready and then just release. So were you saying nice things to yourself when you were doing that pose? I was thinking about bursitis. So funny. Yeah. Say some nice things to you when you're in that, because I will tell you, like, from what, it doesn't matter if you like were falling out of it or your knee was bent or whatever. You guys all had like awesome alignment in the shoulders. That was really cool. Okay, front of your mat. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, look up. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale up. Exhale, take it back. We're not staying here. We're just going to lengthen through the tailbone, stretch the shoulders, and then drop down to the knees. Come in a child's pose here and either take the palms together behind the head to rest the arms or grab towards the bottom of the feet. Give the shoulders a break here. And find your breath. One more. Go ahead and bring your palms to the mat. Lift the head, bring yourself to hands and knees, cross at the ankles, and have a seat. We're going to do a forward fold, and then I'm going to have you guys do something lying down on your back, using the shoulders with the forward fold. So seated forward folds are the most challenging. Typically, I don't want to assume that they're challenging for you, but it's easier when your legs are free to be able to fold forward. When you're sitting down, things are compressed. So trying to keep that same thing in the shoulders is sometimes more difficult. So we'll do Janu Shirshasana A. If you have a strap, you might want to use it, but you can try it without. It doesn't matter. Bend the right knee, drop it out to the side. Set yourself up for success. However, you can get your pelvis to tilt forward a little bit. Inhale, lengthen. And then ground the shoulders, have everything working the same way. Exhale, fold. If you're able to grab your foot and see what changes. If you can grab your foot, see if you can apply what you've done with the block to that. You guys all just totally shifted, man. That was so cool. That was awesome. And so this is how your forward fold is. This is how you want it to be every time. If you want your back to keep getting stronger and your shoulders to stay open and all of that good stuff. Now engage the legs, engage your bandhas, and see if you can get a little bit more length and ground the shoulders here. We'll take one more breath. Inhale, look up. Exhale, release. Did it feel different? Like, yes. Yeah. Yeah, and that's the whole thing. I mean, so many of us come to the mat and walk throughout life with our trapezius because they go, I mean, they affect the shoulder blades too, but this is always like, I mean, do that for a second and feel what happens to your neck. Look at what your neck is going through all the time, you know? It just is contracted, contracted, contracted. So the shoulder blades are supposed to do that work. Go ahead and do the other side. Bend the left knee, drop it out to the side. Set yourself up, get that anterior tilt of the pelvis as much as you can. Inhale, lengthen. Let's do this really quick. I want to do this on the other side, but we'll do it here. Bring the arms up like you're holding the block. Thoracic breath. Get as tall as you can. And then fold forward. So move your hands to the floor, the foot. Engage the leg, the bandhas, shoulder blades. Yeah, that looks really good. Take a few breaths here. Inhale, look up, and exhale, release. What would life look like if you went through life with that kind of alignment? I mean, it would feel like really robotic for a while, but I promise it would not, like, it would start to be, your body would just be like, awesome. This is how I remember our body being, you know? Yeah. And super tiring. It's getting normal. Yeah, it happens quickly. Grab your block. Did you guys see that picture on Instagram that I posted of me in my homecoming dress and my shoulders were like this? Did you guys see that? I literally walked around in life like that, all like for, I don't know, 25 years. And it's really crazy because people would make comments to me. I remember like, oh, you like, they would make comments to me about my actual posture, you know? And now people will say like, gosh, you have such good posture. Let me sit up straight because, you know, my yoga teacher's coming by. And I'm like, you have no idea. It makes me just smile so much because it can happen. You know, your body will work with you if you just have that awareness. Okay, so grabbing your block and lying down. That's why I'm so in love with alignment because that's, I mean, I just learned how to walk and sit again. All right, guess what we're doing with the block? This is like the easiest way we can do it though. So hands, just like we did, pretend you're standing up and doing Urdhva Hastasana. So this would be Supta Urdhva Hastasana, lying down, upward facing hands. So hands on the block, shoulder blades flat. You'll be able to read your back much better here. Keep the arms straight. Try to get the block to the floor. And then take a few thoracic breaths. It might be. Well, yes, I can actually see that. You're tighter because your arm is tighter on the left side. Okay. That's why. And when you're lying down, so try to keep your arms straight. Go ahead and bring your arms down, Susan. Put the block off to the side, and then you can slowly hug the knees. Yeah, as you're hugging the knees, let the shoulders, grab your legs as much as you can as you rock. And then we're getting ready for Shavasana. So whatever you want for that. Socks, sweatshirt. You need a twist, do a twist. You look relaxed. Begin to take some deep breaths here. As you exhale, feel the muscles soften. Pay particular attention to the shoulders and the arms. As the back of the body sinks into the floor. As the bones settle to the back of the body. And again, we surrender to our practice, to our breath, as you allow yourself to just be. Allow your inhalations to begin to deepen. And after another breath or two, bring movement to the fingers and the toes, maybe the head. Moving into the wrists, the ankles. Maybe even taking another stretch here or a bend of the knees, whatever feels good. When you're ready, if the knees are not bent already, bend them one at a time and slowly and mindfully roll onto your right side. Use your arm as a pillow. Let the belly hang, let everything stay soft as you enjoy these last few moments of stillness. Let the head stay heavy as you push yourself slowly to a seated position. Bringing your hands together in front of your heart. Thank you for letting me guide you today. The teacher in me honors and appreciates the teacher in you. Thank you. Thank you.